We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
All right, guys, this is episode 102.
Yeah.
Dalmatians.
Yeah.
That was a movie, and it was horrible.
It really was one?
Yeah.
101 Dalmatians was pretty good.
So they had one more puppy?
Yeah.
I don't get how that worked out.
Would they even notice?
Maybe they adopted one more.
Wouldn't they just still think it's 101? They're not going to notice another puppy. They all look identical.
That's how they end up, like, they say, like, parents and all that, you know what I mean? Like, they'll know. I only have 2, so it's not like I can get them confused.
If you had 101 kids, you would...
I mean, you wouldn't know some of them.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't. I mean, you're like, is that one mine too?
The first one you'd know real well, and then after that it would be like, I don't know.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, you'll go to like a fair or like somewhere like Walmart, and you just be like, I think that's one of mine. I don't know. Right? They're all going to look alike. It's not like you're going to have a 99, because that's what it is. There's 2 parents and 99 kids.
Yeah.
So,
if you have 99 kids, just imagine trying to go do something fun, and like, all you would do was be taking groups of 10 of them to the bathroom.
Oh, God.
The entire
constantly,
trip.
Yeah.
Because when you have just 1 or 2 kids, that's pretty much all you do.
If you had them within, let's say, like every 9 months, all right? Every 9 months, you had another set of, like, quadruplets. Let's say that's the only possible way you could do it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at this time, they're walking out of her vagina. Yeah. But, I mean, let's say by the time you get down
it's
to, like...
fucking a trash can.
And by the time you get down to the mid, like, 20s already, you're already, like, the other ones are 20-something years old, 18 years old. You know what I mean? So they can take care of the little ones.
I think the idea
is they get older, they're able to help younger ones and help younger ones. So eventually, you're not even taking any kids to the bathroom.
But the idea would be...
You're going to take your wife to the hospital. Not because she's having more kids, but because she's dying.
But the idea would be that you had adopted 99 kids.
Yeah.
Because the other way, it's just not as fun.
Well, you're definitely not going to know them then. You're not even going to care. You're just going to want that residual check or whatever.
Imagine 99, like infants.
Mm-hmm.
Just, your whole house would just be...
at one time?
Your house would be knee-deep in orange shit.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like
the mustard seed one or whatever.
And it would just smell like... Because you know how everybody's like, babies smell good, but their smell is like... They don't smell good. It's just that's your kid, and you love them, and you're just getting to know them, so you smell them. You know what I mean? They don't... The actual smell of babies, they usually smell like their formula or their breast milk, whatever they're drinking.
Smell like that, or the whatever you wash them in. When they're like, you can't wash them, you wash the baby off of them.
You told me
right?
that. I asked, nobody else had ever heard that.
I've always heard that from other people that say you can't bathe them
dogs.
too often. I know that too.
You can bathe a baby.
I think someone had a fur baby or whatever, right? And they're just like, yeah, you can't wash babies.
I remember because your kid's older, and than mine by a few years. And I remember when mine was a baby, you were like, I was like, dude, like, yeah, he gets a bath every day. You're like, dude, you can't do that. Like, you were like, it was as if I was like fixing to touch the hot stove and you slapped my hand away. Yeah. No, don't do that. You're going to watch the baby smell. And I was like, oh, really?
You're also supposed to put their food in a bowl on the floor. That's the best way they can eat it.
You're like, no, they wash themselves. They lick themselves clean. But I remember I told a few people that, like parents, like moms or dads, and they're like, no, I mean... You just want, and they also said, they're like, no, what people call the baby smell typically is baby lotion.
You give them this necklace that helps fleas stay away. Right?
It is bad though when your kids, you know how you watch on shows and stuff, and it'll be like, there's an episode where one of the kids has, I want to say fleas, but what's it called? Lice.
Oh, yeah.
And you're always like, oh, it sucks, because they're like, it doesn't mean you're poor, but it does. Yeah. What, is it just a coincidence that it's always the poor white trash kids that have lice? So I'm always, have your kids ever had it?
No.
Yeah, mine's too little, and he doesn't, like, he still has baby hair, kind of, but...
My brother-in-law's kids have, though.
Of course they do! Exactly, it's poor white trash. They're like, no, it's not. It has nothing to do with it.
It's like the fleas, like, deciding which way to jump.
It's because fleas live...
It's looking for, like, character flaws. Right?
It's looking for alcoholic dads.
It like jumps off a truck and it's like, all right, there's a lawnmower in this yard. Right? Let's all fit in this one.
There's a lawnmower on blocks. There's got to be some good eating in those hairs. But it really is, though. People, you always hear that. And when there's an outbreak at school, they're always like, you know, everybody will make fun of the poor kid because they know that's where they got it from. And a teacher would be like, it's not, you know, it has nothing to do with clean or dirty. It's like, here's my problem. If having lice has nothing to do with clean or dirty hair, why is the way to fix it to wash your hair? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I just can't seem to get rid of it. You're like, clean yourself.
I mean, but they say it doesn't. It's not because their hair is dirty. It clearly is, because the way you fix it is you get shampoo and you wash the. But I can't. I must have had lice, but I don't have any memory of having it.
Yeah, you're white trash. So I'm sure we've had it at some point.
I know. I probably just had it so often that it's like.
They say though, like with guys though, we cut our hair so short that we can lose it. It's girls that usually have the problem with it.
Yeah, but we always had, you too, always had like kind of long, shaggy hair.
Yeah, because I mean, fucking $8-10 to get a haircut. I mean,
haircuts were like $7 when I was growing up. But Mom didn't have $7 to make me look presentable.
Okay, so anyways, I want to talk about something on here.
Lice?
No. Anyways, all right. So I was thinking, I've been thinking a lot about aliens lately, because like me and him were talking about before this podcast started. I was talking about we're going on a trip, family trip, RV, and we're going to go to Roswell.
New Mexico.
So I've been thinking about like alien shit and stuff a lot lately, you know?
Every time you say alien shit, I imagine like alien dung.
Yeah, it's like blue.
You said it like 4 times while ago, and the whole time I was trying to get in a joke.
Blue with like sparkles in it or something, right? Yeah. But anyways, I've been thinking about alien shitting.
Yeah. They must, right?
But also, all right, so what if aliens came down here, right? Or they have maybe before, right?
Yeah.
And they start seeing what's going on. Like, what do you think, like, the world would, like, you know, like...
Unite?
Yeah, like, get over all their shit and...
It depends. I think that if there was, like, hostile... Like, these aliens came and it was, like, Independence Day... Then, for sure, I think the world would come together. They're like, look...
Like, if they came here and then just decided to, like, burn down,
the White House.
Huh?
The White House.
No, I mean, like, Australia. Oh, wait. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Maybe they've already been here, right? A few weeks ago.
They're like, look, all y'all's animals are weird to us, but pouches and they hop, I'm not going for that.
Maybe they're already there, right? I mean, they let their animals come from... You know?
Yeah, I mean, those animals are fucking... That's what I was saying the other day at work. They were like, man, it's so sad that Australia is, like, on fire and stuff. And I was like, is it? I mean, I get, like... I know a lot of people just say what you should say. Like, oh, that really sucks. It's like...
Yeah.
Does it?
I was watching the Golden Globes, and there were people, all these, like, right now.
Ugh.
They're like, right now, all the whatever. It's funny, because at the beginning, Ricky Gervais said something about all your political shit.
Yeah.
Leave it, don't be, whatever. Just take your fucking award, and, and then go. You know?
It's like, thank your agent, thank your God, and fuck off.
And then, like, they're up there, and then, like, I don't know who it was. There was a couple of them were saying stuff about the fires in Australia. You know what I mean? All this stuff.
Here's my thing, like, okay, you're like...
I was like, there's fire over there? I was like, they're that far behind. They don't have... Now they got fire. As soon as they get it, it's just like the fucking rabbits. It fucking goes everywhere.
They fuck up everything there. They're like, hey, wouldn't rabbits be cute? Next thing you know, there's billions of them. Like, hey, let's bring cats to kill the rabbits. Now they're hunting cats. Because there's so many. They literally are. They're hunting house cats. Because there's so many.
House cat? I mean, they're wild. Like,
yeah,
they're probably getting big, and they probably have, like...
things that live on your
They're probably
horse,
poisonous now, right?
They're like your cats. But what I was saying was, like, it's hard for me to... Okay, so they said, like, 500 million animals have burned and died, right?
I saw one. I'm laughing. There was a kangaroo stuck in a fence. Yeah. I was like, God.
I mean, it looks like... I heard somebody... This isn't my thought, but somebody said it looked like the Sarah Connor when she's having that nightmare. Yeah. And she's on the chain link fence and it burns her.
Holy shit.
But I wish I'd have thought of that. I could have taken credit for it, but that's not me.
Yeah.
But, no, but everybody's like, it's so sad, all these animals died. I'm like... I mean, I really don't care. Like, and this is what's crazy. If I'm like...
Animals have been dying for millions or billions of years.
Yeah.
It just happens. Fires happen.
I think that this is like hell. Like they're in hell. And this is God getting them back for killing Steve Irwin.
There's a lot of people that probably think that, like, Australia is hell, right?
I mean, it seems not. You see pictures, you're like, damn, it's like nice beaches and this and that. And like... The cities are real, like, awesome and modern and kind of European. But then everything you hear, it's like, of the 10 most deadly snakes in the world, like, 11 of them are in Australia. You know what I mean? And that's because one of them will bite you twice. And it's like...
It's a two-headed, right?
Yeah.
It has no tail. It's just...
It's just a head on both sides. And it's like everything there can kill. Like even kangaroos. I have no sympathy for kangaroos because I've always seen those things where they like, because they'll like fight people and they'll jump up and kick your guts out.
Oh my
Fuck them, burn them all.
That's horrible. This big fucking rabbit. It's like, what the fuck?
I know. So I'm like, fuck them, burn them all.
Got these legs look like they're like 3 feet long. I mean, like
they have either big feet or they walk on their
fat
knees.
Fucking tail.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't look real. Like
no.
Whatever they are, I'm glad they're burning. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's like
it looks like a camel in the face, but it's like they're fucking weird. Like there's nothing else in the world that looks similar to that.
No, except,
you know what I mean? There's like monkeys. There's different size monkeys. There's like
we
little
look
monkeys.
more like monkeys
you know what I mean?
than anything else.
There's cats. There's tigers. There's lions, and that makes sense. There's dogs, wolves, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's like squirrels, chipmunks. There's other animals that look like other animals, and then there's fucking kangaroos. Yeah. Like what the fuck is a kangaroo? There's no cousin.
The name of it makes... I can't feel sympathy for something with such a silly name.
A kangaroo.
A kangaroo. You know what I mean? It's like you should have named it something more like dignified.
Yeah.
That sounds like a racial slur.
Yeah.
It's like a goddamn kangaroos are moving into our neighborhood. Fucking house value going down. All their shit there sounds stupid. Like their favorite instrument is didgeridoo. What the fuck?
A dingo.
A dingo.
What the hell?
It sounds like a bunch of fucking retards.
Yeah, I mean, they are. Right?
Yeah.
I mean...
Just their accent. They're like, no, mate. And it's like, why do you talk like that?
They're all weird.
Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely weird accents all
Well, you know what
the
I've always heard, though, is that Australia to the world is like Texas to the United States.
Yeah.
Australia's kind of like, it's a little wild, and I think I would like Australia.
Yeah, fuck all that. You could just, like, die in your sleep because a fucking spider gets in there.
I know.
Like,
the funny thing is, when you say that, people that actually know what they're talking about, they're like, no, all that deadly shit is more like in the interior part of the island, but all the people live, like, on the coast. And it's like, yeah, but every time I fucking flip on the news, another shark attack on the coast. Yeah. The sharks are trying to ease you into the spiders and shit.
It's all, they got, like,
That's a rock and a hard place. Yeah. There's one little strip of beach.
And you're like, hey, let's live here. Right? It's just like...
I mean, it was a prison colony. So England sent all their, a bunch of their prisoners there, and they started it, which is probably why, like, the people are cool. But also, it's like, why'd they send them there? Because it was, like, they were like, what else are we going to do with this dump? It's like we sent all the Indians to Oklahoma. It's because Oklahoma's a shithole. Yeah. We didn't send them somewhere awesome,
Tornado Alley.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like,
hey, guys, it's nice. Go ahead. Wink, wink. It's the same thing with Australia. There's a reason that they sent their undesirables there.
All right, so getting back to aliens, all right, I was trying to go with this, right? So, kind of like,
somehow we went
off there.
On the ruse.
But, anyways, so if they came down here and let's say, like, because right now there's all these issues going on the other side of the oil shit or something like that. And, the war kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Those oil countries,
Yeah.
But, we hate brown people, I guess,
Yeah.
That's the American way, right?
Yeah. We don't hate brown people. It's just, if you're going to have to kill people, and you can either kill white or brown, it's going to be brown.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems...
I mean, they were trying to fight Russia there for a while. They're white.
It's like, we killed the Nazis. That was the last time we really fought a real war against white people. And it was just because they were being mean to brown people.
They're like, no, we're mean to brown people.
Exactly.
That's like, you can't pick on my brother, but I can.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's that.
But you can't pick on my brother, but I can.
So if aliens came down here, right? I mean, like I was saying, though, what if they already are here?
What if we're aliens?
What if a long time ago aliens came down and they look like Asians?
Well, that's the most... If there's, if any humans are actually, from Mars or something, it's them because they look the most different.
Yes.
Like Eastern
This is
Asian.
what I was thinking the other day.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there, at work, there's an Asian
You have a
person.
job.
I see Asian people, right? Huh?
You have, a job.
Yeah.
And you're like, I wonder if Asians are...
Oh, yeah. I was just like, I think I was walking back getting a drink or whatever, and I was just like... And I was just like, what if Asians are aliens? I was like, that's too close there. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking.
Aliens?
But anyways, I was starting to think all right, their eyes, their face, their bone structure, they're smaller. You know what I mean? I was like, they just look so much differently. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's just something else there. And then I was just thinking there's different breeds of them, kind of, You know what I mean? Of different, like, the Asian type people, you know?
Yeah.
But they all still look similar.
If you see a Japanese, a Chinese, a Korean, and a Vietnamese person, and they're like, just connect the line to what that person is, if you get one or two right, it's luck.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, the Japanese? You're like looking at the instructor as you're drawing the line.
Yeah.
Like, they all look, I get that to them they could tell the difference, but, and they might be like, well, Canadians and Americans look alike. Yeah, because, you know, European descendants, we are the same.
What we are, like, let's say, like, there's white, there's Mexican, there's, like, Indian, there's black people, there's these different looking, you know, and there's, I guess those other people are Asian, too, the ones that live in the fucking snow, those snow things, they look Asian. But anyways,
The snow.
let's say we all look, like, different, right?
Eskimos.
And then, like, Asians are like the kangaroo. You know what I mean? They look like nothing else. I mean, they got arms, they got legs, I got you. But, I mean, like, just their eyes, and it's just like, you know?
There is something about, like, when you see, like, Chinese people, it's like, there's something there. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're not aliens, but...
Maybe they're not aliens.
Yeah, but I mean, why are they so much smarter and look exactly the same, all of them? And, like, even, like a lot of our great inventions that, like, push us forward, it's not with shit they invented. They're, like, writing, gunpowder.
Yeah, the gunpowder, yeah.
It's like, so, I mean, if it came out on, like, in the news and it's like, this just confirmed, like, people from East Asia are actually, like, from, you know, Venus or something. I'd be like, it makes sense. I was just like, okay, and then go to the next thing. Like, I wouldn't even be like, what? I'm like, yeah.
You wouldn't? You just keep scrolling?
Yeah. I'm like, that sounds about right.
You're going to put a like, and you're like, nah. You're like, I already knew.
I mean, it's, like, pretty clear.
You share and say, duh. Right?
Yeah, it's like, come on.
But, no, I was just thinking, like, I mean... For one thing, and then I was thinking about, like, will we all, like, join, like, on the movies and stuff? You know?
I think if there was an attack, I don't know. Maybe.
Depends. What if it's Asians?
You say that, but...
we find out that it's Asians in spaceships.
And we're just fucked.
And then now all of a sudden we're like, there's Asians everywhere.
Billions.
I'm like, there's one at work. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm pretty sure one lives in town. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, they could be anyways,
from one just this morning.
Asians are among us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean... I would like to. I say, like, if aliens actually attacked somewhere, everybody would be together. But I mean, I don't know, because like at 9/11, the fucking Muzzies attacked, and it's not like the whole world was on the side of us or whatever. You know, Americans. So it's like, who knows? If aliens? Let's just say they attacked here, because in the movies it's always here.
Yeah,
and they blow up the White House.
It's always like L.A.
Yeah, or New York. Or,
yeah.
LA usually is easier because it's more wide open, but because that's where they film movies, you know. But who's to say, like, they blow up the White House and then, like, the enemies of this country aren't just like, oh, they're down. I'm gonna start, like, you know.
They start helping out, and the aliens are like, hey, man, come on, you know, like, we got the same enemy. You know, they came from planets and planets away to get United States, right?
For some reason,
yeah, it's like, it's not like this whole continent. Like, just the United States.
They get Hawaii.
Like, they're on, yeah. They go all the way over, they pass Canada, say, you know.
Yeah. They
say, hey,
Canada,
right?
And they get Alaska. Even they're like, why is this America? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. They'd be like, if they
do it all just to give it back to the Indians, right? It's Indians or aliens, right?
Because they are Asian.
Indians are aliens, right?
Yeah, I mean.
They somehow, like, you know. White people didn't kill them all off. They just scared them off.
And also, why would they were aliens, but they were just fighting with sticks?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were hiding their technology.
And sticks.
No, I mean,
it looked like a bow and arrow, but it was a ray gun. You know?
Anyway.
Like, pew, pew, pew.
That's fucking stupid.
You're the one that said it.
No, I started thinking it was fucking ridiculous.
This whole conversation
Indians with fucking, you know?
With ray guns.
Oh, shit. Okay, anyways.
Dude, alright, this is something that, if there's one thing that our podcast has kind of went back and forth to a lot over the last 5 years, it's this. We always talked bad about the royalty in England. Right? Because it seems so silly that people are like, oh, the Queen, the King, the Prince, the Dutch, all that. So, anyway, anytime I see news about that kind of stuff...
Dutch?
Duchess, I guess.
I was like,
What's her husband's
Duchess
name?
like a people.
But what's her boyfriend's name? It's not the Dutch. It's not Dutch and Duchess.
Duke?
Oh, Duke. Yeah, that's what I meant.
The Duke and the Duchess.
Well,
that sounds stupid.
Dutch and Duchess makes more sense.
Yeah, but Duke.
It's like, hey, we had one Dutch employee, but now there's two Dutches here.
What is a Duke and what is a Duchess?
I mean,
is that like kind of like princesses?
Yeah, it's made up bullshit.
But like a Duke?
Yeah.
It's like a prince, but it's like, is it like a
no
farther away from?
If you go far enough back in English history, his ancestors like murdered a bunch of peasants and took over a big plot of land. So now his relatives are royalty. Royalty is retarded. The fact that they used to have it, I get it. A couple of smart people convinced not as smart people that they were above them, so they could rule them. Good move. So they ruled those lower people, those like peasants, and then so their kids also ruled those peasants' kids, and it kept going until eventually it was so many generations that the peasants just took it as like, well, I mean, he is royal, but royal isn't anything. It means his great grandfather 8 generations removed was smarter than yours. That's all it meant. So he said he was royal, and now it's fucking 2019, and they have a lady literally sitting on a throne with a crown. Yeah. It is laughable.
She's like, I can't believe they're still
I know, she's got
like, people have computers in their pockets, right? And they think I'm royal.
They still think royal blood is a thing. She's like, so anyway, it is... I know it's because we're Americans why it seems so stupid to us, because our whole country was founded on the idea of going completely away from that. Because, we were, whatever, I don't have to teach history here. We were under them, right? So, anyway, so it seems ridiculous to us, but it should to everybody. You have a queen. You have a person called a queen. A chess piece is something that rules over you.
Everybody's walking on the squares. She can go at any angle.
So, hey, some guy's like, his wife's like, hey, will you run to the store and get a he's like, I can't, I'm a rook. The store's that way, But it's so stupid. Well, I keep seeing all
they
this.
Still have like knights,
I think. Well, those dudes with the tall fuzzy hats that can't move even if you touch them. Those are guards that guard the palace. They have a place that's a palace.
Yeah.
That the queen lives. I mean, it's fucking stupid. When you say it, you feel like goofy.
Like you're talking about a movie. I'm like,
the palace guards that guard the queen and the duchess. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, if your daughter was saying this stuff,
you're full of dookie.
Yeah, but if your daughter was talking about queens and duchesses and stuff, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's cute. But then you tell your wife, like, we might need to like ease up on the Disney movies with her.
Yeah.
These people like. But now I get that they have like parliament and all that, so it's not like they are ruled by the monarchy, but the monarchy definitely has like sway and like tax money. Just like the queen has all this crazy shit, right? She has this crown and jewels, and she goes on vacations and she eats everything nice, and she has all this, but she doesn't have a job. Like,
she doesn't do anything.
No, for one thing, she's like 95 years old.
So when she dies, who takes over?
Her son, or her grandson.
What's happened to her son?
I don't know how it works.
It's like every other generation?
I mean, he's kind of like fruity looking. Remember Princess Dianna, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She married the queen's son.
Capital Die.
Yeah. Princess Dianna. So she married the queen's son.
Okay.
He was like 42 and she was like 19.
How is she a princess, though?
Because she was married to the queen's son.
No, but I mean before that.
Before that, she just came from like a family.
Like a stripper or something? He's over there throwing ones and they kind of like start to mingle.
It's Mercedes Diana.
There's a lot of people that be pissed off about this. There's a lot of Americans that would be pissed off about this.
So she married the queen's son. So she would, I guess, eventually be the queen when the husband... But for whatever reason, I don't know if that dude died too or what happened. But anyway, her son... She has a son that's like my age.
She killed him.
Yeah. She has 2 sons. One's like my age, one's like your age. Okay. Roughly. The one that's my age looks like a fucking... Not a faggot. That's the wrong word.
So he's not going to be the king?
Her oldest son will be the king.
He just will be.
The king. A person born in the 80s is going to be the king. I mean...
probably pretty soon.
Yeah, she's real old. So anyway, so her second son...
Why can't they just pass the torch?
I mean, why don't they just, like, put a torch to the palace?
I mean, like, all right. So, like, what's his power then?
I mean, I think, honestly, nowadays, it's more like they get behind... I think their power is similar to, like, the president's wife here. They always have some kind of cause that they work on. I really don't know. It just makes...
Not like what it used to be.
No, I mean, they're not, like, off of his head. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they do.
He's like, off of their heads. And they're like, what? He was like, it's a traffic fine. You know, I don't think they go to him with that. Right? He's just like, fuck it. We need to stop these traffic violations. Right?
It would. So...
He's got these, like, pikes, and they're, like, heads on them, right?
He's just medieval as fuck. Emphasis on evil.
He's got all these wives, right?
Yeah.
He's Mormon, right? Kings are Mormon. They just never knew. You know?
He actually has a hot wife, and he's like a... I remember when I was young, like in high school, you'd always hear like...
John Smith's like, see? Right? Isn't that the guy, right?
That's the guy that...
invented...
Mormonism.
Or like found it, you know? He's kind of like Ricky Gervais off of that movie. He just like found a book out in the sand, and it's like, hey, look, it's about
that's
this.
exactly what that...
Yeah. I mean, that's what he's making fun of.
So anyway, Prince. So the second brother, the younger brother, he just married what they call a black chick. I guess her mom's black, but she looks just white. But anyway, he married like an American, like... Anyway, I don't think the family was real happy about who he married. But I don't think it mattered all that much because his brother would be king. I don't know. I don't get that involved. I just know that...
All right, is this the white dude that looks like he touches kids?
That's the older brother. The redheaded
That's the one that's going to be
the one that kind of looks like you is the one that's not going to be king. The red beard and all that.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the king.
He said it looks like me. I said he looks like he touches kids. And you're like, the one that looks like you.
No, so anyway, my whole point of bringing all this goofy shit up is that the redheaded one, I don't know their names. One's William and one's something else. The redheaded one, the younger one that's not going to be king unless he kills his brother, is stepping, like, he's no longer wants to be royal.
What?
Yeah, him and his wife don't want to be, she's like...
Does he get a blood transfusion?
They really...
That's the only way that works?
Yeah. They're like, here's somebody, he's like, it's not Mexican, is it? Or whatever they hate there.
They check his blood and it's R positive. For royal. I mean, got that?
Yes. So, I was thinking, and I said this when I was at work. There's this lady that works where I do. She's the only woman there, and she's an older lady. And she said something about it. She's like, they're stepping down from the wood. And I was like, yeah, but what they're doing is like... I was like, he's stepping away from something that's made up. I was like, that'd be like if I said, like, I don't want to be a Gemini anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, well, then you're not because you weren't.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something you said. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like...
Even the Gemini thing is made up. So
That's what I'm saying. It is made up. It's the same
somebody
thing.
said that's what you are if you were born in that month. So that's like what they are. He's royalty just because someone said he is.
Dude,
or
it's a perfect analogy.
His great-grandfather. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of it on the spot. I thought of it the other day.
Oh.
I wish.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like, if I was like, I don't want to be a Gemini anymore, that should get no... People are just like, okay, so stop reading the newspaper and think it's about you. I don't know. Like, it's not... But yeah, him and his wife are going to, like... I don't know what but they're not going to be royal anymore. They're just going to have to get jobs. You know what I mean? She's like, I wish we were royal while she's like cleaning.
What's his name? William?
No, I think William's the big one.
Philip?
Henry? No.
Henry?
He's a redhead. He's got like a redhead name. Wish I could think of it.
I don't know.
Prince? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Like Cody?
What is it? Prince Tanner?
If it was American, that's what it'd be, right?
It's just a faggy little name. But, no, but I read that headline, and of course I didn't read the whole article because I try not to give any, like, attention, although I will make fun of them, to the royal. Like, I just think it is
silly.
Inconceivable to me that in 2019, in 1819 even, but in 2019 or 20, whatever year it is, that people are like, it's a big thing to people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the queen and the king, and it's like, are you people fucking retarded? You realize...
when that guy, like, the old one, whoever he is, the one that's going to be a king, whenever his, like, grandma dies, and he's, like, sitting there, he's sitting on the throne, his little thing, sitting there, and he's got his phone in his hand.
Yeah.
He's, like, scrolling through Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Taking selfies.
I mean...
He's going to be, like, taking selfies. I mean, he's born in the 80s. He might not be doing that, but, I mean...
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's, like, my age.
But he's, like, taking pictures on the throne, you know? Like,
I mean... It's bizarre to me... Because, so, the only reason they have anything is because the people of England allow it to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's bizarre to me that people in England, like commoners, who are still, like, they can move up. Like, you can be born from a fucking dirt family and move up in England more than you could back in the old days. But they still are, like, there is, like, at least in their heads or whatever, like, that person is more important than the dude that works at 7-Eleven. Because he's the king. Even though the dude at 7-Eleven puts so much more into the economy and, like, the world. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever. So, these commoners that are English people, they still... The reason that still feeds is because they want it to. Mm-hmm. They want there to be people who are royal. Or, not all of them. There are, like, anti-royal people in England. You hear about it sometimes. But the vast majority of them want there to be royal people. So the whole point of them being royal is that they are, like, above you, like, better than you, just because of how they were born or whatever, their family.
Like vaginally?
Everybody else in England was, like, spit out or something.
C-sections, right?
I guess that makes sense. I was trying to make a correlation to how it messed their mom's teeth up.
So, anyways, all right. So on Gladiator.
Yes. Right?
The dude is like, he sees that, like, his son or whatever will be like shit. So he ends up, like, he wants, what's his name, to be like a certain thing, but he's going to, like, get rid of the royalty part of it. Like, there ain't going to be no king anymore. It's going to be like a government. Yeah. Right? So
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in, like, 20 years. But
well, that's how he wants it to be. And then, of course, he ends up, like, dying or whatever, and the guy ends up taking over because no one ever got to hear his,
he wanted to go back
plan.
To the...
he didn't want to have, like, the whole, like, king thing anymore. Yeah, he wanted it all to be, like, like a government kind of thing. So what if, like, she did that? She's like, lady? My fucking grandson is fucking stupid.
She's like, the oldest one's probably gay.
So she's like, I want to be the last queen.
I mean, it would be a pretty pimp move.
So then, like, she's like...
Murder-suicide.
She's like, what? No. Not like kill him. Oh. She's like, off of your heads, right?
And then off of my head.
But, no, but I mean, because all they'll do is find the next royalty one. You saw that movie.
Yes.
Right? With the...
King Ralph.
Yeah. No, but, what if, though, like, she's like, all right, hey, let's end this stuff. Does she have that, like, power?
I don't think so, because I think that no matter what she decides, when she dies, the fucking goofy-looking bald-headed dude is just the king.
No, but what if before she dies, she's like, hey, like...
She, like, makes some kind of law?
Let's stop this shit,
I mean, I guess maybe, but it doesn't seem to be heading in that direction. So they're going to have... so she's been the queen, like, forever. Like, she's been the queen since, like, the 40s or something.
That's
something crazy. Like, I want to say she was, like, kind of young when she became the queen, however she did that. Like she was the queen because she was the queen, not because she married the king.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she's been it since she was young.
But she, like, married some dude and he was a king.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it works that way. I think it works only the other way. I think if you're a king and you marry some chick, she's the queen. But if you're the queen and you marry some dude, he's just some dude.
All right, so let's say, like, your dad was the king. Okay?
That'd be crazy. My dad is a fucking psycho.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your dad was the king.
Yeah.
So he dies, now you're the king.
Right.
All right? And then you get married, she's the queen.
Yeah.
You die.
I think you would take over.
Who?
Like, your brother or whoever.
Oh, fuck yeah. I wasn't even going that route.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope you die.
You know how many people would have to die for me to be king of England?
All right, it's your firstborn.
8 billion.
It's your firstborn, no matter if it's a male or a female.
Well, I don't know exactly how they do it, but just generally how monarchies work.
I want to see, like the playoffs chart of this. Like, how does it branch out?
Well, it does go, because you'll see... I remember I saw it was on a movie, but I think it was based in reality. That
That's how we get our news.
I know. You're comparing it to Gladiator.
I'm like, what movie? I want to see this, right?
But anyway, it was
I'm taking notes.
It was like this like socialite in England, and it was somebody made a joke about like where are you in the line of like procession or whatever like
and he's like, if these people
like,
die,
like
I'd be king.
Like 18 people have to die for me to take over, which is like, that's got to be a weird.
That's doable, you know. You're like, hey, let's have a family reunion.
I know, right? but also like
he sends like a note to like Trump, you know what I mean?
But like I said, for me, like if you were to say any random American,
they're like, Jeremy's out with the cold, so he didn't get to make the reunion. Yeah, and there's like a bomb, you know.
And then it's just a remake of King Ralph.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, like 8 billion people.
Then it's like Royal First Blood. You know what I mean? It's just like everywhere.
Royal First Blood would be a great movie if it was this dude that was like 20th in line, and he just got a machine gun and just started like mowing his way down to being the king.
There's like some wedding or something, so they're all in it.
If anybody out there makes movies, feel free to make Royal First Blood, because I just want to watch it. I wouldn't mind getting what's it called? Credits, but
it's called like Prince Rambo or something like that.
Dude, I want to see that movie so bad now. It starts off with like a guy in like a nightclub or something. He's like a British socialite type, and he's just like talking to some girl, and he's like, my family like goes all the way back, and she's like, oh really? Are you like whatever? And he's like, yeah, I'm whatever he is. He's like the Duke of like some shithole town. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm the Duke of El Paso or whatever. And she's like, oh, nice. She's like, so, like jokingly, how many people got to die for you to take over? And he's like, 27. Like
he knows exactly how many.
Exactly.
Right.
And then cut to like something happens to her, and he rips her dress and makes a headband out of it, and just starts mowing down Crooked Teeth Royals.
Okay, so let's say there's like 10 people between you and like, the kingdom or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then, but one of the higher ups has a kid. Now you're 11th.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right? Because it's like that person's, not because you were born first, it's because they're like more royal.
It might be, though, that if you were born first, but they're closer, it's just a matter of...
That's why I said I want the playoff bracket of this.
I do, too. I
want to, like, you know what I mean? There's a queen, and then, like, what step down?
Yeah.
And then, like, from there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because all I know is that there is a queen. She's got to die soon. We
don't know there's a queen. No, we've been told there is.
We said before we think she's probably made up.
She's made up.
Oh, yeah, some weird little British lady that has lived for 100 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get these, like, dorky-looking, like, grandsons. One doesn't even want to be the king anymore.
Yeah.
He's just going to be a pawn or a bishop or whatever. Like...
He's like, I want to be a real boy.
But I don't know how it works exactly. I just know, like, because I only make fun of it. Like, I don't... Some people are like... I remember when Princess Diana died. I was like, probably 13 or 14. And people were crying. I remember my stepsister, both of them were crying.
Why?
And they
didn't know her.
And you're talking, like, these were adults. They weren't, like, teenagers or nothing.
But they were like, crying because, like...
The princess...
Did they think... I mean, she still wouldn't be the queen.
No matter if she'd be the queen or not, she was... Whatever.
No, but I mean, that one lady, the queen, would still be alive.
Not only that, Princess Diana wasn't even married to the fucking prince anymore. They split up.
So she wasn't a princess anymore?
No, but I think she went by it. Of course. You know?
Yeah.
If you're married to, like, some, like, fucking Rothschild or some rich name, and y'all break up, you keep the name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to go back to Vandersnoot or whatever your name was. So... But I remember they were sitting there crying watching the TV, and I was like...
They're like, Princess... She's like, it's just Diana. Right? It's just... Right? That's why she, like, wrecked her car, right? Because she didn't have the title anymore. Right? I don't mean to the car. She lost that in the divorce, too, right? Oh, shit. So she's like, I want to die a princess, right? She's like Princess Peach, right? Mario is behind her with a turtle shell. Her last balloon busted. Oh, shit.
Peach. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, fuck. Dude, the idea... I just have it in my head visually.
She's driving a little go-kart.
With a crowd. And Mario's behind. in a tunnel.
Oh shit.
So maybe that's what my sisters were thinking, and they were crying of laughter.
I doubt it. I doubt it. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Why would you fucking cry about that?
You know why I think it was? Because this is something else. I also remember the older of my stepsisters, who was one of the ones crying about Princess Diana, she was crying when fucking John Kennedy Jr. died.
Why?
I guess she liked him or whatever, because...
She had, like, posters of him? like in sync or something? Like a girl like in that? Right?
Yeah.
He's, like signing some papers, like, you know, like...
She's like, I'd like to get him in my ovary office.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, that's terrible.
That's nasty.
But... I mean...
Anyway.
So, but it's one of those things, it's like... they were, like, both of them, more so Diana than him, were, like, cultural icons.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like people, I can't think of it. I think, though, because I'm so cynical.
She died in the 90s, right?
Yeah, like 97, I think. But
Yeah.
I think because I'm so cynical, I don't feel that way about anybody.
Yeah.
Like, if I see somebody on the news and they're like, whatever, like Kevin Costner or whatever, my favorite actor, dies, I'm like, oh, man, he's dead. That's crazy.
You're like, man, that sucks. No more movies.
Yeah, George Carlin died. It was probably the only celebrity death where I was like, fuck.
I think
But that was practical. It was because I'd always hoped I could get tickets to go see him one day.
like Matt Damon, if he died, I'm like, fuck. He has
But
great
you
movies.
wouldn't cry, and you would 15 seconds later be like, so anyway,
Yeah.
Princess Diana's on a go-kart. You know, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm talking, they were wailing when Diana died.
Like when they noted, like the radio kicks in.
Like it was on TV.
Yeah, the radio, because where y'all lived.
Yeah.
I just assume there's like a radio in the corner, and everybody sits on the floor around it.
They got their ear up to an actual grapevine. No, but they were sitting there looking at the TV, and they were crying, and I was like, the fuck? I was like, what's going on? They're like, Princess Diana died, and I was like, who? I didn't know who it was. I was like 13, 14, and they're like, Princess, and I was like, Princess? And even then, I was like, what do you mean?
You're like, what channel? Right?
I thought they meant, I remember thinking that it was something like a character on something, like Princess something.
So 4 years later, the Twin Towers went down.
I guess.
And then who remembered Princess Diana, right?
Yeah, I know.
Now it's all of a sudden the United States is like, look at us, right?
Was it that? Did she die? I guess
she died in 97. It was 4 years later.
I think it was 97 when she died. But when you say it was that close to 9/11, I'm like, it seemed way before. It seemed like I was a little kid when she died. I was like 18,
since it's been 19 years, 18, almost 19 years since 9/11.
Are you saying Princess Diana had something to do with it?
Years of that, you know what I mean?
Wouldn't it be crazy if the Queen of England like orchestrated 9/11? You just find out it's some little old British lady sipping tea. Mm-hmm. Nobody would suspect it. It'd be a slick move. But what I was thinking was, all right, so...
She slides a box cutter over to this Indian guy. Right?
There's no way she's going to touch his hand, so she is going to slide it.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
No. I don't really want to touch her hand, but I would. I'm not touching an Indian's hand. Wow. They just look dirty. Anyway, so, no, but...
She's like, I'm going to help the Indians since the Americans, you know what I mean? He's like... Different Indians.
She don't know.
I'll take it. Right?
What does she know? I remember there's this thing that comes up on Facebook constantly. You know those like interesting facts things? Mm-hmm. And it's like Queen Elizabeth is a...
Is that her name?
Yeah, I want to say that's right. Queen Elizabeth is a trained mechanic. And it's like, no, she isn't.
What?
No, she isn't. They're because when they're royal, they have to like pretend they're like... Because if you go way back in history, they had to like... There were so many people below them, like peasants, they had to like throw them a bone every once in a while. Because the peasants, all they gotta do is get their pitchforks, and it's over for the queen. Uh-huh. It's like 50 or 60 royal people and like their guards, and then millions of fucking...
A mechanic. I can't see her over there.
So what they would do is they would join the military. Like they do like a military tour, or what, like they're in the military for a couple of years if they're royal. And I guess she learned how to like... There's no fucking way that bitch was working on shit.
Is that why one of the like the little princess dudes or whatever, like the little, he got red hair, that guy?
Yeah, that's the one.
He has like a little like suit.
He's like an Air Force guy.
That's the one that doesn't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not royal anymore. It's like, dude, you never were.
Yeah.
Your family is a long line of inbred German people, and somehow they convinced a lot of people that's special. I never bought it. When Princess Diana died, some chick just died. I was a little kid, and even then I was like, princess? What are we, fucking children? You know what I mean?
They're like, yes, you are.
Exactly. And I still think you're bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? But, so her son, those two are her sons. And the big, goofy-looking one with, like, no hair and, like, a cone head kind of shaped head is, he's going to be the king, I guess. But what if he decides, he's just like, you know what? We're going old school when I take over. And he's, like, the king.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's, like, fucking
He's got, like, a jester. I mean, like, this is some guy that, like, dances and tells jokes.
He just sits there eating grapes and ordering deaths. You know? I mean, what if he is, like, what if he's just like, you know what? Fuck him. I'm going to be the motherfucking king. It'd be cool because it's England. You know, when shit like that happens in, like, North Korea, people are like, oh, yeah, but it's North Korea. But if something like that happens in England, people are like, wait, he's mistreating white people? You know what I mean? He would probably get, like, nuked or something. But I'd like to see it. It's the only way I would respect him. It's the only, it would be the first, and it will be the only time I respect any monarchy, is if he just kicks it old school and just takes over. Just starts murdering the fucking, what do you call it? Like their Senate, whatever it's called, their parliament. He just starts murdering their parliament guys, and he just like takes over. He's just blood.
Like he sends like knights.
I'm saying
right?
like he does
like
a lot
wearing
of
like metal. You know what I mean? With like swords. Right? They sneak into their houses and like slit their throats with their swords. You know, chopping them off.
Fuck yeah! They just throw a horse head in one.
All on the same night, because that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, it's a coup. I mean, but then it would be like...
That gives them, like, more of a pun on being called knights.
That might actually be a better plot for...
That's how it happened.
First Blood.
They do it at 9? Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that the new king takes over and decides, like, you know what? I'm tired of all this. It's just a show stuff. Yeah. And he just starts fucking slitting throats, and, you know, he goes to war against us again. He sends fucking ships to
come. We're like, really?
He's like, I gotta get the colonists back, you know? And we're like, all right. Yeah, it's just somebody with a fucking rifle just knocks out one of his ships, you know? It's like, on accident.
He's like, I'm going to land in the Gulf, right? Bad idea, dude, right?
But yeah, that would be the better plot for Royal First Blood, is that when King, or whatever the fucking weird guy's name is married to the actual normal white girl. I want to say William. They all have fucking gay-ass names.
What's their last name?
Well, they changed it. It's,
What?
Yeah. You don't know that?
No.
I swear I've told you this. Okay.
They changed their name.
Yeah, so...
But what was it and what is it now?
I don't remember how you say the original, but it was a German name, because they're German, right?
Okay.
All the royal people of Europe were all related. And, like, Spain, all those... Back when they had monarchies, they were all related. So... And World War I was when, like, a lot of that kind of came to an end. That's when, like, all these revolutions happened and the war itself, and they became more modern countries, and they weren't monarchies anymore as much. Okay. So they were German. They had some fucking German name, right? So there was so much, and then in
like Hitler.
Yeah. So,
I wish.
I know, that would be awesome.
Like Hitler was a royal name. Right?
Yeah, that would be.
You know what I mean?
That would be nice.
Hitler was like,
I wish a really
the
good
12th person to the throne. And they're like, okay, I hope these fucking people don't die. Right? This guy will ruin everywhere.
He has a birthmark that looks like the mustache.
Hitler's sitting on the throne, you know?
Yeah.
He's got a little crown with a little SS on it. You know what I mean?
So anyway, World War II, the Germans were like bombing the fuck out of Britain. Okay. And, like, Germans were hated, as they were here, the same thing. And the royal family changed their name to Windsor.
Windsor? It
used to be, like, Wiener Schnitzel or something, and now it's Windsor. Because that sounded, whatever.
Windsor?
Yes, I think it's Windsor. It's something like that. I'm telling you, I'm giving you, like, the history of the royals, and I purposely avoid the stories about them. Because I'm like, these guys are fucking worthless.
Yeah, I'm getting my historical facts from this.
And movies.
And you're like, Windsor? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what was it? You're like, I don't know, some German name. Right?
It's like Wiener Schnitzel, Hitler,
right?
Same shit. But it really was. They changed. And you know what happened here, especially here, specifically where we live, there was a lot of German immigrants here. Okay. Not here in this town, but, like, Central Texas. You know, like, all those towns that have those sounding names. Yeah. So, and some of those places... Now, Texas is kind of weird, because in Texas, they were more loyal to Germany. And so a lot of those places still have German names. But some of them don't. Some of them have like newer names that they changed during the war. It's just like hot dogs. They used to call them Frankenfurters, but that was like a German. So then they started calling them hot dogs. It's the same exact thing as freedom fries. But freedom fries didn't stick because it's fucking gay. Hot dog is gay too, but it's been called hot dogs our whole lives, so we don't think nothing of it. But they changed it to hot dogs during World War II because they didn't want it sounded German.
All right, so an alien comes down and talks to Mr. Windsor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Windsor.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways.
Sounds made up.
Yeah, it does.
Because it is.
Right? Anyway. In a palace, right?
Dude, hold on. Last week, you mostly, but me a little, made a lot of fucking like jokes about Muslims and making fun of them and stuff. Now it looks like we're like scared of Muslims. It's like, oh, we can't make fun of them. Let's make fun of people who would never strike against us.
Yeah.
The British royal family. You imagine some guy comes over here and he's like, hello, sir. And he wants to fight us because we said something bad about Queen Mother or whatever. I wish I could talk more like him.
Yeah.
Hello, governor. You know?
I just say I want to put us on some tea, and they like calm down.
Yeah. He splash it in their face and run.
Yeah, like, I got cold tea.
Yeah,
and they're like,
he splashes in his face. He's like, "That's refreshing."
come on, right?
Yeah, it's quite refreshing in this Texas heat. It is. I wish I could talk like them, but the problem is, if I could, I just would. That's just how I talk.
Yeah.
I'm at work talking to some like.
All of a sudden, one day at work, right? You're like British. Right?
Yeah, my boss is like, "Hey, why are you late?" And I was like, "Oh, slept in a bit, did I?" Or whatever. And
he's like, "What?" He's like, "Are you all right?"
Had to get a little rest to cuddle.
He slaps himself.
If I could do it good, that just sounds like me saying different words.
Yeah.
If I could do it good.
But if all of a sudden you like carried yourself, like you dressed differently, you know what I mean? Just like you woke up the next day and you're a British person, right? You're like,
brain
what the
injury
fuck
or
happened to my teeth? Right? You're like,
I don't know.
Overnight?
My teeth are the most British thing about me.
No, but you're like, overnight? You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing that, if you just saw my teeth, you might be like, you might be British.
Yeah.
Nothing else about me. I don't look British. Mm-hmm. Although I do have that, like, one of my eyes is higher than the other.
That's a British thing?
Yeah, everybody over there kind of looks like their mom drank when she was pregnant. I don't know if it's because it's a small island and there's, like, bound to have been a lot of inbreeding. But everybody there, just look. Ricky Gervais, look at him. He looks like something, like, ain't quite right. Like, he's smart and everything, but if you look at him, it's like, yeah, he's British. Because what the difference is because it's one of those countries where, for most of history, it was like homogenous or whatever. It was like just white people, and they all were kind of the same. We didn't grow up like that. We grew up in like a real diverse country. So here, like everybody, I don't know how to explain it, but everybody in England, just look sometimes. When you look at, just Google like people from England and flip through the pictures. They all look like I said, like their mom drank and or smoked during pregnancy. Like, something don't look quite right. And I look kind of like that, I guess. I have, like, one of my right eyes a little higher than my left or something. Because
we don't have that in our, right?
British, English, or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I know I do on my dad's side.
What?
Yeah, for sure.
I know I got, like, German, you know, and then there's some Irish or whatever. I guess all that kind of comes...
It's all the same shit, though, because, like, the British, like, England, is, like, populated by Celtic and Germanic people. And I'm Celtic as fuck, especially on my mom's side, and so are you. And then Germanic, you are, like, literal German, so that... Anyway, it's a long, old story, but, like, Germanic...
Yeah, like, my great-grandpa was a Nazi, or something
like a literal... Yeah, like, he was actually a Nazi.
Yeah. Not
like they say some guy's a Nazi now because he, like, says faggot or something. He actually supported the National Socialist.
This guy's the one that, like, turned on the showers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know... Yeah.
I don't know what your grandpa did, but I just know when we were up there and they were all talking, it was kind of weird when you're like, he was a Nazi, and they're like, yeah.
I'm like, hey, Grandpa, why do you have a shoebox full of rings? I'm like, what is that?
Pretty fucking weird, Papa.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like to keep them and look at them sometimes.
I'm like, are you a tooth fairy? What's with that barrel of teeth over there?
I told you not to go to my garage. However he talks, I always end up sounding Italian. But really, though, like if you had ever like met him, You might have been like going in his garage to like get a tool or something and just found like 60,000 shoes.
Remember that fucking movie though? I can't remember what it's called.
Happy People.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I still have it. It's actually
about your grandpa.
It is the only movie I have on VHS that I keep on my shelf.
Really?
Yeah, that is a fucking badass movie.
Dude, I want to watch it.
I like, because I think the kid in there is like dead, I think, right?
He was a good actor though.
Yeah, he was. And then that guy on it still does fucking movies, I think.
His name's
right?
Brad Renfro.
Yeah,
the
that
young
dude was
kid.
badass. Yeah.
He was so good in every movie. Of course, he's gonna die.
And that old man in it is like still an old man in movies.
Yeah.
Magneto, I think it's Magneto. Makes me think of him, but if I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh, that's not him.
No, I don't think it's him.
It seems like it's him though.
It might be. Which one's Magneto? The wheelchair guy?
No.
Oh.
It's definitely not him. That's a Star Trek guy.
Okay, that's who I was thinking of. It's
No, it's not him. You're like, it might be him. It's definitely not that
Which one's
guy.
Magneto? The knives come out of his wrists?
Really?
No, I know that one.
Really?
I can't think of his name though.
Knives come out of his wrists. Wolverine.
Yeah. I was thinking like, dude, I know which one that is. I know it's like Hugh Jackman, but I couldn't think. Hugh Jackman sounds like that would be a character's name in a Marvel movie.
You're like, who's Wolverine? You're like, Gene Hackman?
That'd be good. Gene Hackman's a good actor.
He hasn't done nothing since like 2004. Welcome to Mooseport. You want to go out on Welcome to Mooseport?
I know. When you could have been fucking Wolverine.
You know what I mean? Wolverine. That's what he's been like in retirement, waiting for that role. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine how much better the movie would be, though? Because he's just such a good actor.
Yeah, he is a good actor. The other guy's Australian, right?
Yeah.
Ain't he?
Yeah, and he's Wolverine. Maybe he's burned.
Some of those people got some fucked up fucking accents, dude.
Does he have a weird accent? I don't know if I've ever heard of
Like, you hear them, like, speaking their American when you get used to that in movies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're, like, on the red carpet and they're, like, talking or something. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They really fucking talk like that?
If we ever get famous, there's no surprises.
Yeah, they're all like, they really talk like that?
I just assumed and hoped that was a character he was playing.
No, that's not possible.
If I could do a different voice, I would. I hate my voice. Mm-hmm. When we first started recording and stuff,
they're like, it's way better than your accents, right?
But I would listen back to it and I would be like, I cannot believe I'm willfully putting this out for people to hear. Yeah. I hate it. I want to fucking kill myself.
It just is what it is.
And
I don't mind mine though, but I talk fucking constantly at work.
You have a good voice too, though. You have a better voice than me.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's a good voice.
I know.
But anyways,
it's like it's better to have gonorrhea than AIDS. Doesn't mean it's good to have gonorrhea. You know what I mean?
All right. Anyways, we're gonna go out on that.
A lot of people do.
Anyways, all right, guys, this has been episode 102. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It really is like we spent a long time we had like a gap, and then we finally got back into doing it, and
we've been doing them like 61 straight now, I guess.
Yeah, and it feels good. It's one of those things where it's hard to explain to people that don't. It's like, it's not like we're making any money. It's not like we're like famous or anything like that.
These are just a lot of fun to do.
It's fun to do, and if just a couple of people even like it and enjoy it, then that's good. If nobody did, it's still, me and you don't get a chance to sit for an hour and just sit here and say ridiculous things.
No.
Anymore, like we used to when we like.
It used to be, nonstop. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to bed. You know what I mean? And that's just like when we lived together. And then now it's
now we have to schedule time. I'll be like, dude, kangaroos are burning. I can't talk about it until Thursday or whatever.
And you said there's still a lot of stuff you want to talk about, so
yeah, I had a bunch of shit in my notes that we didn't get
it'll
to
wait
today.
for next week or later this week.
Yeah.
But anyways, so whatever you're listening to this on, which I'm guessing people are doing the whole Laughable, right?
Well,
Laughable, Spotify.
Probably a lot of Spotify. I don't know. Laughable. I used to use Laughable, and then they started charging. I was like, fuck that.
Any kind of way you can reach out. If there's something you want us to talk about, please reach out in whatever way you can. I'm sure somehow I'll get it.
The best way is
probably through Facebook.
Well, yeah, either Facebook, like message, or like email. My email is badbadvibe@gmail.com, and yours is thebadvibe.
Yeah, thebadvibe.
At gmail.com.
At Gmail, yeah.
So just email us and say, like, oh, I like the show, or I hate it, or or whatever you want to say. And
or you can go on Facebook. There's I heard there's a band called the Vibrators.
Really?
So there's 2 pages. One is the Vibrators, and then there's the other, the Vibrators.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's Vibrators, and there's also the Bad Vibe, the Bad Vibe podcast. So there's a page, and then there's I guess that's a group, actually. I think it is the Vibrators, the one I made. But anyways, any kind of way, you'll find us. If you're wanting to really reach out, you can find us, and whatever you fucking say, whatever you talk about, we'll bring it up here.
Yeah.
If you want to do it anonymous, you can. If not, we can mention your name or whatever.
Yeah.
But give us something to talk about.
And also, graffiti the Bad Vibe podcast in bathroom stalls.
Yes.
Or anywhere on the side of a building or something.
I need you to go get you a Sharpie, right?
Or write it in your human shit.
Go to Walmart, buy you a Sharpie.
Steal it.
Right? And then, go into the restroom and write the Bad Vibe podcast.
Yeah.
And then go into another bathroom, the women's, if you feel like it, right? They can't kick you out now. And then write it on that one, too.
Just tuck your dick while you're writing. So if they come in and be like, no, I am a woman.
Yeah. But, anyways. All right, so, subscribe, whatever, right? Yeah. Do or don't. It don't matter.
That doesn't matter. Just listen. If you enjoy it, tell all your friends.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, all of your friends.
Don't forget one. We'll know.
Even those ones that aren't your friends, just go tell them too.
Yeah.
Walk randomly into, a store and just scream the Bad Vibe podcast.
Yeah, for real.
Right? And then run out, right?
Yeah, do that. That would be awesome.
But, anyways, all right. If you were listening to this, you are the Bad Vibe.